So Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Arsenal 1, 1-0 to the Arsenal Jez. Martinelli sent off our 15th red card under Mikel Arteta. One of the most boring games of football I've ever watched in my life, which was livened up by Martinelli's red card. We've got a striker missing sitters, and we have a goalkeeper and Gabriel, who pretty much bowed us out today. What did you make of that in in a nutshell, Jez?
Well, it's the same as with Arsenal, isn't it? Under this current manager, it's just boring. I'd love to know. I really would love to know who the coach at Arsenal is, who coaches the passing, because it's shocking. It is just so poor. Whether it's the coaching or is it just the lack of quality in the players, we got some decent players, but it is just we can't string three passes together, and this is not how Arsenal play. It's just so boring. I mean, I was watching on the TV here, and I've got the watch along on my computer there. And, it was more entertaining listening to the watch along than what I'm watching on the television.
Thanks, mate. I'll pay you later.
Yeah. Well, it should be, I should, as a seasoned Arsenal fan, be glued to that TV.
Yep. No, not worry about anything.
And listening to you and think, oh, come on, yeah, it's great. This is brilliant. It's rubbish. It's rubbish. Boring.
What do you put that down to, though? Because we've had 18 days off, Jez, right? And they've gone to Dubai. They've had a jolly up in Dubai. Everyone's united and together, and the cohesion and everything's great. The trajectory of the club is great. Yeah, we need to stop getting red cards. Then we get a red card. Yeah, we'll come to that in a minute. But what do you put it down to? Because when I looked at Wolves, we scored against the run of play. Right? Only 2 teams have scored less than Wolves this season. So when you go 1-0 up against Wolves, it's maybe highly unlikely they're going to come back and win. Yeah, but when you get a red card, you think, okay. And then we just sucked straight back into defence and brought Eddie and Nketiah on. Lacazette went off after missing a sitter. What do you put it down to, though? 18 days off, you'd think they'd come out all guns blazing, fighting for everything. And Laka was walking. We'll come to that in player ratings later. A lot of these players, Odegaard was a passenger, didn't see him. It was just a lackluster, boring, average performance. And then when you watch Wolves, they're popping it around, 1 touch, 2 touch, bang, 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 bang. Is that the manager? Is that the players not being bothered because half of them don't want to be there? Or is that just what? I don't know. What do you think of it?
My honest opinion is it's Arteta's way of upsetting players. He can't get them to gel as a team. I think I would honestly love to be a fly in the wall in the Arsenal changing room, because I think he's such an arrogant bully that he seriously upsets the players, and they just get so disillusioned by what he is trying to do, what he says. I don't know what I mean. His tactics are appalling. It's the same old. And we discussed this a 3 weeks ago. Any decent manager can read his tactics like an open book, because they're crap and they're poor. And until he goes, we are going to have to live with this boring football. There is no intensity, there is no passion, and there's no will from the players to. I mean, there's an absolute classic where at one point Tierney is racing down the wing, racing down that left wing. He makes a pass, and there's nobody there.
Yeah,
where is Martinelli? Where is Lacazette? Where is a midfielder chasing through? There was nobody there.
Mm.
And he's done all the hard work, and you can see him turn around and think, well, what? I've just run 90 yards, and there's nobody here.
What you just said about like a bully. Did you see the way he manhandled Eddie Nketiah on the touchline? What was that all about?
Yeah.
Like, that was just random. He just literally grabbed him and pushed him. It was like, no wonder he wants to leave. Like, not that he's any good, but like, why is he going to sign for you, mate? He's just seen you bully the best striker out the club. Yeah, the next best striker's missing sitters, and you're arguing with him on the touchline when you sub him. Yeah, and now you're pushing me away and manhandling me. Mate, there's something seriously wrong at this football club. Massively wrong at this football club, and it's all down to him, mate. I don't care what anyone tells me.
Lee, I 100% agree with you. We've been saying it for so long. The guy, look, let's go back in time. Arteta was an arrogant player.
Yep.
He has an attitude then. He's got an attitude now. And it's funny. I was listening. I was driving today, and I was listening to Talksport, and they were talking about Pep Guardiola and listening about all the different kinds of things, about the comparison between Pep Guardiola and Arteta. And they were stating, is Arteta trying to build Arsenal the Guardiola way? In the fact, the comment, in the fact of the way he manipulates a team. And I thought, how can you make a comparison between one of the most successful managers currently in the Premier League and Arteta?
It's mad, isn't it? Yeah, it's mad.
He's arrogant. I don't think Pep Guardiola is arrogant.
I do. I actually disagree. I think he's the most arrogant football manager on the planet, right? And I think he's probably the hardest and harshest, right? In terms of,
hard.
There's probably players that don't like him, yeah, and they'll still speak to him, but he'll cuss you, he'll ruin you, he'll do what Arteta's doing, but on a bigger level. But they'll run their nuts off for you because they know at the end of the season they're winning stuff. Yeah, so they'll accept getting bullied here and there, yeah, or spoken to like an idiot in front of the group. Arteta has nicked. The only thing Arteta's got that is Pep Guardiola like is the arrogance. Where does that arrogance come from? Because you ain't anywhere near that guy. You ain't even anywhere near Graham Potter, mate. Yeah, you might have won a trophy and you might be better in terms of in England. Graham Potter's got more titles and trophies than you'll ever win.
I totally agree in that respect, but it's all right being arrogant, and yeah, okay, I can understand your argument there, but Pep Guardiola has a football brain of tacticians, tactics. He has a way of being arrogant, if you want to call it that. I think of a different thing, but he has a way of managing players as not bullying. And I honestly believe Arteta is such a bullying person. He doesn't have the personal ability to manage players in a way that they will see what he's trying to achieve. I can imagine him. Well, we've seen it. Let's get it right. He's got rid of Aubameyang, our best striker, gone. Yeah, because I think Aubameyang probably stood up to him, being a senior player at the club, and said, "Stuff you." Yeah, you can see players that have come into Arsenal and have gone backwards. Let's be fair. I can't honestly think of one player that has improved under Arteta's management.
No, they've all gone backwards. And
that says a lot, that if you've got a manager that cannot have the managing ability to improve a player's playing ability, then you have problems. You have problems. And, we're stuck with it.
Yeah, 100%. Mate, he ain't getting sacked anytime soon, is he? So he's probably signed a new contract. Listen, Jez, thanks for coming on, man. We'll do player ratings within the next hour or so, if you're still about. I know it is getting late. And yeah, we're out of here, people. Arteta out.
Arteta, you prick, get